Okay, fellas, I'm going to try this rebuilt fuel distributor. I just pulled the original one out. Now, the only thing I've done to this original one is when I first got the car and was going through the fuel system, I ran a lot of Techron through the fuel system. And it's got new fuel lines and new fuel filter, of course, but it didn't really do anything to the fuel distributor itself. So let's take a look at it. So that's the one that came with the car. I just pulled it off. These screws that hold it down, I had to cook it up pretty good to get them to break loose. Don't know if they had any Loctite on them. But I mean, when I look down in the ports on this thing, it's surprisingly clean, and that's what Techron will do for you. I'm not going to disassemble it, not yet. Let's see how this one I rebuilt does. If it's spewing fuel all over the place, we'll have to put the original back in. But yeah, I mean, just because the ports look good doesn't mean the diaphragm is good, you know, so anyway, that's what I've got now. Oh, I also noticed on the banjos that came out of the individual injector lines, those are pretty crusty. So I'm going to clean those up before I reinstall the banjos on the rebuilt fuel distributor. Okay, here's another observation I just made. On the original fuel distributor, the pin is really loose. It's just sliding in and out without any resistance at all. So I don't know that that's what you want. I think you want a little bit, because that would tell me that fuel is getting by that pin and internally. Also, it's a different shape. Look at the cone on that. Now, the one I've just rebuilt, the pin is recessed. I'm not going to pull on it to get it out, but you can see the cone on it is different. So I don't know what that's all about. All the numbers match up on these two, except for this number right here is a 402 on this one, and this one's a 204. 204 came with the car. I mean, otherwise they're identical. So any of you experts out there that know what that's all about, please leave a comment. Also note that there's a seal right here around this housing. I'm just going to transfer it. I did not get a replacement seal yet. It looks to be in pretty good shape. Basically, that seals on the top of the AFM around here. So, yeah, you probably wouldn't want it to leak. But, yeah, I didn't get a replacement, so whoops. Okay, I got all the fuel lines on the refurbished fuel distributor, and now it's time to give it a try. Fingers crossed. All right, I have the DME jumper in, fuel pump jumper on the relay panel. No leaks, so that's the first start. Frequency valve is humming along. Now note that the warm-up valve, the connector is on it right now. So I want to try it. Let's just try it this way. Okay, didn't catch it on video. So the first cranking, it initially caught pretty good and was trying to start. But the fuel pump, one of the two fuel pumps, started really complaining. It was getting very noisy. So I stopped cranking and pulled the jumper. I'll put the jumper back in and see if I can figure out if it's the internal pump or the external pump, because this car has both of them. God, I really don't want to buy another pump, but let's see what happens. Yeah, I got it. Turned out to be the AFM adjustment was way off. Injectors were not firing at all. Hot dogs! Guys, this is huge. My first rebuild, and I thought, you know, it's just a little 4-cylinder engine. But so here's what happened, because I didn't video most of it. It was a real thrash. Let me tell you how it went. I started, you know, once I got the full fuel distributor in, I started cranking. It actually was catching better, but it was just catching. It wasn't staying running. So I got to thinking, okay, this adjustment is probably way out. So that's your idle adjustment, but you're only supposed to mess with that with a CO2 meter on your tailpipe. I also thought, well, I had a 6mm bolt in that hole, and I was using that to adjust the plate on the AFM. That was wrong. You do need a plug there because it will suck air, but below that is a 4mm set screw, and that changes the angle of the plate in relation to the pin in the fuel distributor. I don't know if you remember, but, and I did this, I recreated it again, where I jumped the fuel pump relay, and I was pushing down on the AFM plate to trigger the injectors. Well, I was having to push that plate down like 3/4 of an inch. That's wrong. It'll never draw that much air across that plate. So I kept struggling with that, struggling to get this adjusted. Also was adjusting my timing, trying to, and once that was helpful because I actually, just by kind of starting it, I could feel when the timing got close. So I was kind of frustrated. I went inside and had some lunch, and then I remembered a video. I saw a CIS guy that works on Volkswagens, old Volkswagens, and his thing was, again, when you push that plate down with the fuel pump relay jumper in, you should trigger the injectors, and you'll hear them. But it just should be a minute amount. So I came back out here. I took that stupid 6mm bolt out, reached down in there. I think it's a 4mm hex. It's pretty small. Yeah. And adjusted that. It was way out of adjustment. Adjusted that and adjusted that. And I could kind of feel it when it was touching that pin, right? You could just kind of feel it when it touched the pin. And then finally, when I got where I thought I was close, I jumped the relay again and actually started pressing it, right? Until it just would barely crack and trigger the injectors. And as soon as I got to that point, I got inside, it started right up. Just like it wanted to all along. So that's where I picked up the video. This is so great. I'm so happy. I hope Scobie Rogers III is proud of me. He's probably in his grave, but so it's huge. It's huge. Now, I do have a coolant leak. Hopefully it's a hose, not the water pump. That would suck. At some point I need to get the timing belt cover on. Gonna have to move some stuff around to do that. I think next, break it in, check the valve lash, make sure that's good. Already put a timing light on it and adjusted it. You're supposed to set it at 900 RPM and it says 3 to 9 degrees advance on your dwell. So all that's pretty close. I mean, it sounds great when it's running. Let's get in there and start it up. What the hell? Watch it not start this time. God, that would really suck. Oh, I got the battery disconnected. Stand by. All right, fingers crossed. Here we go again. Seems like it's idling a little bit higher after putting the air filter and everything on it. Looks like I'm getting a little boost. Need to put some more fuel in it. See if we can see the leak. Nothing dripping now, but oh well. I thought there might be a little valve noise. I like that alternator jumping around. That should be about 900. I'll loosen up on that throttle cable and it'll relax better. Alright fellas, I'm going to cap this one off. I'll do another one whenever I get the hood on and make sure there's no major leaks and all that stuff. I'm going to get it out on the road hopefully this weekend. See if the thing gets on boost. Thanks for watching, guys.